Have you ever had that strange feeling? Like you're moving, but going nowhere? The days blur into each other. You wake up, do the routine, scroll through your phone until your eyes ache, feel that quiet guilt tapping your shoulder, whispering you should change something, anything. You nod, you promise. But somehow, nothing really shifts. It's like being stuck on a treadmill in a dimly lit room. Your feet are moving, your heart is tired, but the view never changes. I've been there too, more times than I want to admit. We say we want to feel more alive. We say we want to speak better English, to be healthier, more focused, more confident, more present. But most days, we find ourselves folding back into the same old habits, the same safe choices, the same soft, familiar trap. And here's the part we don't want to hear. If you change nothing, nothing will change. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But the simplest truths are often the ones we run from. We wait for the right time. We wait for motivation to arrive like a miracle at our doorstep. We wait until we're not tired, until life gets quieter. But while we wait, the clock keeps ticking. So maybe today, maybe right now, is the shift. Not a dramatic leap, not a whole new life, just a small, quiet, unglamorous step forward. Because even the tiniest movement breaks the stillness. Even a breath counts as motion. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need clarity. You just need momentum. A whisper that says, I can start. A hand that reaches just slightly toward better. And if this is your first time finding Evie, welcome to this quiet corner of the internet. A space where we pause together, breathe a little slower, and listen to what the heart actually needs. Not the noise, not the pressure, just presence. In this quiet moment, let's sit here, just you and me. No performance, no masks. Let's talk about why change feels so heavy, and why even the smallest, softest shift might open a door you thought was locked. Nothing blooms overnight, but every flower begins with the decision to press through darkness. You don't have to become someone else. You don't have to impress anyone. You just have to whisper, honestly and bravely, I deserve more than this stillness. And like always, Evie is here to remind you, you don't have to walk this path alone. Shall we begin? Change is uncomfortable, even when we say we want it, even when we know something isn't working, even when our hearts whisper, please, something different. There's a strange safety in the known, even if it's hurting us, like curling up in a worn blanket that itches but feels familiar. We crave change, but we also crave comfort. And the truth is, our brains don't chase what's better. They chase what's familiar. You want to wake up earlier. You set the alarm. But when morning comes, your hand moves on its own, snooze. Not because you don't care, but because your body remembers yesterday's habit, not tomorrow's hope. Hope is beautiful, but it isn't strong enough to change you. Only habit is. And habit, my friend, takes energy. And energy is hard to find when you're tired, discouraged, afraid. We resist change not because we're weak, but because we're trying to protect something inside, a little piece of ourselves that's scared of failing, scared of trying and still not getting there, scared of being seen trying. So we say, I'll start tomorrow. I'm too busy right now. I don't know where to begin. But if we're honest, what we're really asking is, what if I try and it still doesn't work? So instead, we scroll. We snack. We tidy things that don't need tidying. We do everything except the one thing that's quietly calling us. But here's a gentle truth I need you to hear. Avoiding change doesn't protect your peace. It delays your growth. What if you stopped asking, what if I fail? And started asking, what might begin if I just try? Because not trying is also a decision. And every time you choose not to begin, you're also choosing not to move toward the life you say you want. But hey, pause. Don't be hard on yourself. This isn't about blame. This is about awareness. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're just standing at the edge of a new chapter. And sometimes, all it takes is one soft yes. You don't have to change everything. Maybe just today, you change one thing, one breath, one word, one brave step. That's where everything starts. Change doesn't have to roar. It doesn't need fireworks, or a grand announcement, or the perfect mood. It can arrive like a quiet guest, gentle, unnoticed at first. Like choosing water over soda, turning your phone off 10 minutes earlier, repeating one English sentence out loud while brushing your teeth. We've been told that real change has to look dramatic. New year, new you. New job, new body, new lifestyle. But in truth, lasting change is quiet. It hides in the ordinary. Big transformation is built on small, repeated choices. Tiny decisions that seem invisible in the moment, but slowly, beautifully, they reroute your entire life. Let me tell you something simple. It changed me. There was a time I kept saying, I don't have time to learn. It became my daily excuse, my shield and my trap, until one evening, without overthinking, I set a timer. Just 5 minutes. To listen to English. No goal. No pressure. Just presence. The next day, I did it again. And then again. 5 minutes became 10. 10 became 20. And before I even realized it, English felt like a part of me, not an obligation. It wasn't about how long I studied. It was about what changed inside me. I stopped waiting to become someone new, and started acting like someone who already was. That one small shift, it rewired my identity. I wasn't the person who had no time anymore. I was someone who made time. And so are you. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. So what if your small shift today is this? Write down one new word. Take the stairs. Turn down one distraction. Say yes to a 10-minute walk. Say no to a voice that says it's not worth it. Progress doesn't ask for perfection. It only asks for a pattern. One small choice, repeated, becomes a path. And a path, followed long enough, becomes a new life. So here's your quiet reminder. Every step forward, no matter how small, is still movement. And movement is how change begins. Perfection is a tricky illusion. It whispers that you should wait. Wait until you're ready. Until you can do it flawlessly. Until you're certain no one will see you stumble. It tells you that if you can't do it perfectly, you shouldn't do it at all. And so, you don't. You rewrite the same sentence over and over. You avoid speaking English aloud because you're afraid of sounding wrong. You skip the gym, the project, the call because the image in your mind is always cleaner than real life. But let's pause here. Because the truth is, you don't need to be perfect to begin. You just need to begin to get better. Progress isn't a straight line. It's a messy, beautiful swirl of try-agains, of 5 minutes when you hoped for 30, of understanding half the podcast and missing the rest, of speaking with 3 grammar mistakes and still showing up the next day. And that, right there, that's real progress. Not polished, not filtered, just honest. Let go of the movie in your head, the one where you always wake up at 5 a.m., where your meals are perfect, your accent is flawless, your journal is full of wise reflections. Life doesn't look like a highlight reel. It looks like effort. It looks like imperfection. It looks like courage on a Tuesday afternoon, when you don't feel like trying, but try anyway. Consistency beats intensity, and done is better than perfect. So, say the sentence, even if it's awkward. Study with tired eyes. Move forward, even when your voice shakes. Every fluent speaker once sounded unsure. Every strong habit began as an experiment that felt strange and clumsy. You're allowed to fall. You're allowed to restart. You're allowed to grow slowly. Don't measure your journey by how perfect it looks. Measure it by how honest your effort feels. If you keep showing up, keep trying, keep learning, something will shift. Something already is. Maybe you've been waiting for the perfect plan, the right moment, the ideal energy, the right words, the right weather inside your chest. But deep down, you already know the truth. Nothing changes, if nothing changes. And here's the invitation. That change you long for? It doesn't have to thunder through your life. It can slip in gently, unnoticed by everyone but you. One breath before you react. One kind word to yourself after a mistake. One page read. One step walk. One sentence spoken out loud when no one's watching. Your future isn't something that arrives all at once. It's stitched together by quiet choices made in invisible moments. Like now, you don't need to fix everything today. You don't need to rebuild the whole house. You just need to open one window. So, if it feels okay, close your eyes for a second. Breathe in, softly, deeply. And breathe out, without rushing. Again. In. Out. Now, ask yourself, not with pressure, but with kindness. What is one small change I'm ready to make today? Don't overthink it. Let the answer arrive like a leaf floating down, quiet, unforced. It might feel tiny. That's okay. All real change begins in the unseen. In the stillness. In the whisper that says, you are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming. One small act of courage, each day, can quietly unlock an entirely new chapter. So here's your reminder. No more waiting. No more perfect timing. Just one honest, gentle step forward. You've got this. And you don't have to walk it alone. Evie is right here with you. Every time you press play,